I'm Beverly Nambozo Nsengiyumva. When I ask my mother why the name Beverly, everybody asks, she says, your father just named you Beverly. Growing up, my father was a diplomat, and I'm eternally grateful to him. He passed away. I'm eternally grateful because being the daughter of a diplomat, I grew up in London in the 80s, and I think that was the most fascinating time of my life because it shaped whom I love to be. There's nothing more than, for me, being in a space where there are people from different nationalities. In a room, in a space, I'm charged. I'm like a lioness. I can't stop because I just think, picture this. Each of them represents a different nation, a different culture, different language, different ideals. And because my father was a diplomat, I was raised to believe that that's an experience that is unmatched. I'm a queen warrior. That's what I call myself. And that's what my 4 daughters aspire towards. That's what I leave with them every morning, every day, when I'm reading books to them, when I'm going crazy, running around the house, picking after them, dancing with them, taking them for my morning walks. I am a queen warrior because queens are not born. They are turned into royalty from hardship, from overcoming, and from leading with creative experience. And I believe that has summarized my journey on earth so far. I am a Toastmaster, a reader, a poet, a teacher, and a long-distance swimmer, which sounds weird, especially when you look at my size, but wait for it. I became a long-distance swimmer by accident. I was at Sessa Island Beach, which is one of the many beaches on Lake Victoria, for one Easter during my first year at Macquarie University. And a friend of mine whose parents owned a resort took a bunch of us to the island. Now, one crazy girl said, why don't we just swim and come back? And so we did. But Lake Victoria responded differently. So the waves were choppy. And when you're swimming, you don't realize the tide is taking you further and further until we realized we are smack in the middle of nowhere. And because distance is a facade when you're in a lake, the next island or the next shore looked like it was nearby, but every time we got swimming towards it, we were going further. It seemed further and further. When we did finally arrive, given the energy of buoyancy, our weights just dropped onto the sand. Little did we know that back on the island where we had been, everyone thought that we had died and they didn't know what to do. So they went in a canoe looking for us, or was it a small boat? I can't remember. And they're waiting to see dead bodies popping up and wondering, what do we tell their parents? What's going on? That's when I became a long-distance swimmer. It was just by chance. And somebody looked at the map and said, because the tide was shifting you further, you actually swam. It must have been over 13 kilometers. We were just swimming and swimming and swimming. So since then, long-distance swimming has been one of my favorite exercises. I just go lap after lap. I'm swimming against waves every day. One of the hardest has been leaving an 8-to-5 job to pursue what I really love, promoting literature and poetry around the continent and leadership trainings as well, without a significant amount of finances. You see, I'm one of those leaders who needs to be pulled back a bit and told, listen, let's just organize this first before we go headlong, because I just rush into things sometimes. And when you rush into things with your idealism, you forget that you do need resources to build a formidable structure. And I've swam against waves, trying to get resources in place and using your own, and then ending up in unnecessary debt, and then starting again and not learning from your previous experiences, because I get an idea and I'm like, let's do this now, bubbling. Who's ready? Waking people up odd hours of the night. That has been a wave that I'm really fighting against quite a bit. And also, in the last 3 years, I gave birth to 2 children. During that time, I was elected as a district leader of Toastmasters East Africa. I founded a club, Bukoto Toastmasters Club. So I was a founding president, then a district leader. I was running a poetry foundation, was planning for the 10th anniversary. And then here I was, baby after baby, with magnificent amounts of work. I don't know how I balance. You know, they say you're a super mom or what. Those titles didn't mean anything to me then. I just needed to go from one day to the next. So I'd go to bed, I don't know what happened this day. I don't know how the children are fed. I don't even know how I responded to emails. So for me, that's one of the biggest waves. I really don't know how I've even come to this end where we're almost handing over leadership and my baby is 11 months. I don't know how it happened. All I know is every day I was swimming against this horrific tide, which brought great joy and strength, but was a tremendous, it required tremendous strength. We need to know that it can be done, and you deserve to have something done for yourself and for others. Your dreams are important, and you deserve to be part of something great. If you do have an idea, write it down and explore it. Every idea deserves exploration. Not everything will manifest into success, but it does deserve the exploration and the benefit of trying, because that's part of swimming, isn't it? The first time I started swimming, I couldn't swim one lap. Now I just go on and on and on and on and on, and I can't stop until they say, you know what, it's getting dark, or it's raining, it's dangerous, and things like that. So everything deserves exploration. We deserve to be called by our names. In other words, how I'm addressed. Beverly or Bev, Nambozo, Mrs. Nsengiyumva. I deserve to be called by who I am. We all deserve that because we deserve to be. My grandfather taught me, amongst one of the most important things is everywhere you go, leave a piece of novelty. And so every organization I've led in or been a part of, I've tried to leave. Either I've started a newsletter, I started a Toastmasters club in Uganda, leave something new. And that has been such a significant part of my process. And I tell my daughters that every single chance I have, either by word of mouth or by emulation, for them to emulate. Now, it may seem that I've got my life perfect, but I haven't. I have so many weaknesses, but those weaknesses are important for me because they're part of who I am. While I believe in motivational speaking and inspiring and having all these talks that are fascinating, I believe that we're human, and that human experience is so crucial to who we are, because there are many who are flattened out by life's toll, but we need to tell them this is what happened. For years, I had no idea what I was doing, or I was fired from one job after another while trying to find myself. And when I did, this happened. But we have to tell them that the human experience is unique to everyone, and it's about ups and downs. Having said that, keep moving no matter what. So as we keep swimming, you see, even though there are waves and the moment you stop, you will sink. So keep moving. You could even just dog paddle, which means you're staying in one place. Or if you can't even move, float on your back. See, the waves are an important metaphor because you can actually float on your back and just look up at your spiritual elevation and say, I'm looking up now, I've got no more strength. So what's going to happen? And at that point, maybe a rubber dinghy will come so you can float on it and just... So with every experience, when you're really fatigued or you're so energized, there is something to take you further. Yes. I have failed spectacularly as a financial manager. I just can't seem to keep finances in check. So now I just give somebody to manage the finances for me. I'm like, you know what? This is how much is there. Just manage it. Just budget for us as an organization, and then you distribute it, because I can't manage money at the moment to save my life. And yet it's something that I should do. I have also failed miserably at managing my weight, because I can't even tell how many kilos I've gained in the last 10 years. I'm like, what is happening to me? And so that's something I'm working on, cardio every morning, once in a while. So I just go up and down, like the waves, So sometimes I'm in the shallow end, sometimes I've reached the deep end, sometimes I'm struggling, and it's all that. So yeah. Ugandans, I hear, and I've experienced, Ugandans are very good at hosting people in their country, welcoming people warmly and giving them a friendly experience, especially people who are unfamiliar with the region. We're very good at that. Ugandans are also very good at serving guests to their homes. Whether it's a relative or a neighbor, it doesn't matter, a friend. We're really good at hosting and making people feel comfortable in any space. Yes. What can Ugandans do better? We can do better at our timekeeping. We can do better at our governance. All said and done, remember that when you are in your 40s, you can start life afresh. Where in your 50s, look forward to the glorious 70s. But remember, life can start afresh at any decade. And always leave novelty. Wherever you go, leave a piece of yourself, your unique self, wherever you go. Live large, live small, just live you.